Hi, good afternoon. This is Elizabeth Griffin, your independent author from South Philadelphia, and today I'm recording indoors, so my voice may be lower than normal. I don't want to disturb the people that are around me. Today's video, we're going to talk about book titles. In the last video I recorded, I discussed e-book covers, the formatting, and the layout and branding. And in this particular video, I want to talk specifically about book titles. So for me, when I choose my book title, I usually consider the story that has been written. And I think about keywords that would best describe the story in a tantalizing way, or in a way that would draw the reader's attention, or the person that's looking for a book, their attention. So an example of this would be the Scrub series. That is my medical line, and it deals with ethnic physicians, African American, Latina, Latino, Southern. It's just a whole gamut of different ethnic individuals in a medical setting. And for that series, Unscrubbed was the key word in all the titles. So the first book was Unscrubbed, the second book, Scrubbalicious, the third, The School of Scrubs, the fourth is Breaking Scrubs, and so forth. So for all the books that come out in that line, Scrub is going to be the one connecting word in all the titles. So that's an example of one way of titling your books. If you're doing series, it's good to think about words or that can be used for multiple books, or a series of words, or a series of adjectives. An example of this would be my Red Velvet Delight romance series. In that series, all the titles will have three words. They'll have the article the, which begins the title, and then they will have an adjective which describes either the character in the book or the book itself. And then it'll have a noun at the end. And several examples of this would be The Notorious Bachelor, The Temporary Mistress, The Wicked Crush, The Good Husband. So as you can tell, you have the article in the beginning, and you have the adjective, and you have the noun at the end. And I use Harlequin romance as a model when I started doing my Red Velvet Delight romance, when I started making those titles. I wanted words that would immediately tell the reader what the book is about. So if you see The Temporary Mistress, you know what the story is about. It's about a woman that is going to be a temporary mistress and the trials and tribulations that she's going to go through. Same thing with The Notorious Bachelor. You know he's notorious, and you know he's single. So I like, as I said, I like using Harlequin romance as a guideline for picking my titles, because they seem to be good at as a model, I'm sorry for picking my titles, because they seem to be good at capturing the readers with their titles. And so I use them. And then another example would be the Birthday series, which is my series. And I decided that I wanted to tell stories about young adults starting at the age of 13 and going all the way up to 21, following them from adolescence to adulthood. So I decided for each of my titles, I would use a number. So 13 is the age of the first girl, and it is a Caucasian young woman on the cover. The second book is 14, and it's an African American girl on the cover. The next one is 15, and it's a Latina on the cover. And with this particular book, it's talking about the quinceañera, which is what the Puerto Ricans and the Latinos celebrate instead of a Sweet 16. And then for the cover of 16, I have an Asian young girl on the cover. So that's another example of using numbers to title your books and to have them continue on. If that series does really well, I thought about doing another series for young men with the same concept, 13, 14, 15, 16. So For you, look at your book, look at what you've written, look at words that could best describe your story, and then figure out if you want them to be short and snappy, the words, or if you want the titles to be long. So some titles can be short and some can be long. It depends on you. Also, do a Google search or do a search on titles, because in the United States, book titles aren't copyrighted pretty much. Neither are the titles of songs. But I'm told in the UK and other places, the titles of songs are copyrighted and you can't use it. But I've noticed people using songs as titles for their books. I've noticed people using colors, 50 Shades of Grey. So be creative, be inventive, and just look around and see what's out there. And obviously you don't want to mimic other people, but you can use them as a role model or an example in picking your cover, in picking the title for your book. So I hope this has been helpful. As always, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Share it with your friends. And love, peace, joy, happiness. Bye-bye.